Good evening. Let's take a look at Deuteronomy 28 to 30 on this beautiful day by the beach. It's really very easy. It's a choice. Actually, the choice in terms of literature and culture, I don't know if it was ever made clearer than Bob Dylan's song, You Gotta Serve Somebody. But it's not like, you make a lifelong decision, okay, I'm going to serve the Lord, or I'm not going to serve the Lord, I'm going to serve the other guy. It's not just that. It's every moment of every hour of every day of every month of every year that you're alive. In every moment, if you did something and you know that it was sin, was that serving the Lord? Or if you did something and you know that it was sin, but just not quite hitting the mark, you missed the mark, you blew it. Who are you serving in that moment? This section, Deuteronomy 28 to 30, is actually very beautiful poetry by Moses, none other than. And he is basically saying, look, you've got a choice. You've got a choice. You can adhere to the word of the Lord. And he even says, look, it's not hard. The word of the Lord is in your heart. It's in your mouth. It's a natural thing to follow the word of the Lord, unless if you're following your other nature. You can follow your better angels or you can follow demons. And there are consequences for actions. Whatever path that you decide to take, and there's really only two. There's a lot of roads. There's a lot of cities and towns. Moses talks about you will be cursed in the city, you will be cursed in the country. Or you will be blessed in the city, you will be blessed in the country. Yeah, there's a lot of places, but there's only one decision. Are you going to follow the Lord, or are you going to not follow the Lord? And if you do follow the Lord, then, we have this culture these days and this technology and so forth. But, something it's not really necessary for man to be happy to have all this stuff. I suppose, it's nice to have, not just some plants that you can grow in the ground and eat, but you can have, Italian food and Chinese food and Mexican food and all that kind of thing. We have a very foodie church, so actually this month its first fruits is Irish, which I'm looking forward to, actually. Looking for some nice stew and sausage and maybe even some cabbage and corned beef. But you know something? If we didn't know that pizza existed, if we didn't know that, chow mein existed, if we didn't know that tacos and burritos existed, we could be happy just living off the land, The Lord gave us everything that we needed to be happy. And, you almost feel sad and empathetic to God, because all he wants from us is he wants us to love him. He wants us to follow his word, which means that we love him. Jesus said that, if you love me, then you'll follow my commandments. But do we really follow them all the time? Anyway, it's really easy. It's really if you don't follow the word of the Lord, oh my goodness, you're in trouble. And we've all seen that. And it's spelled out in very clear detail in Deuteronomy 28 to 30. We have to feel almost empathetic and sad and sorry for the Lord. But the thing is this: the Lord sees all of this, and he understands all of it, and he knew that it was going to happen before it happened. And he's not in linear time like we are. If you look at, let's say that you look at a timeline of something that's on a table, as opposed to being in that timeline and in that moment and then in the next moment and the next moment. God sees history and sees us in that history as part of the flow of that time. But he sees it from looking down at this timeline on a table. So I saw something yesterday which kind of blew my mind. It was a 7-minute Michael Heiser video. He's talking about how, the disciples may have seemed like not so smart. But here's the thing. Paul says that the Old Testament is a mystery. It only mentions Messiah a couple of times in the Old Testament. So up until the time of Jesus' death on the cross and his resurrection, there was no way to know what the game was, what it was all about. You see, we deal with the spiritual dark entities in high places described in Ephesians 6:10, but so did the Lord. Now, as I said, there was no way that the Lord could lose in his battle against them because it was all spelled out. He saw the end from the beginning. But it was not... This is interesting, you know, being out here, sitting on the park, at the boardwalk bench, planes passing over, people walking down by the shore, nice waves coming in. It's really very beautiful, and it's also very distracting. But what I'm trying to say is, you can only feel that emotion for the Lord so far, because there's like the aspect of the Lord which is in linear time with us. There's the aspect of the Lord which is unchanging and eternal, and that's the true nature of the Lord. But he wants us to be with him, and that's all that he wants, is that we not follow other gods. And truly, even today, most of the evil that you see in the world comes from following other gods. But those gods have taken different form, so that now it's whatever the culture tells us is what most people follow. You know, celebrity worship and what have you. So this is the whole ballgame in Deuteronomy 28 through 30, and it's all your choice. It's all my choice. And it's not hard, because the Lord, look, people come to Leviticus, I don't read it, you want me to follow those things every day. Well, you know what? Look at David. David was had a lot of blood on his hands, and you know what? God said that he was David, a man of his own, after his own heart. He felt a bond with David, regardless. David did not practice the Levitical laws all day long. He was just trying to please God, and that was what was in his heart, and God appreciated that. And same thing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is when you talk about the chosen people. God honored and still honors Israel and the Israeli and Jewish people, but that's because he swore a covenant with them. But the ones who he really loved were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they were fallible human beings just like you and me, but they loved the Lord, and they would do anything to be in the Lord's favor. So let's do the same, and let's keep the Lord close as he keeps us close. Let's keep him close in every moment of every hour of every day of every month, and then we can make that choice really easy as to who it is that we serve, and then we will be blessed. And that is the whole ball game. So I hope you enjoyed this, and